So what I was wondering in that kind of situations when they are making oblique remarks with respect to Israel and for that matter Ukraine crisis, and then they are thinking all is well, all is well. I mean, you just uh, cannot assume of something like keep calm and then keep moving. It's there are fissures for real. So in this backdrop of so much of good things and nice pleasantries exchanged for the aspirants of the UPSC, what are the takeaways that you think? I mean, they have ranged from currency to sustainability to the vaccine to the health to the food to whatnot. Almost everything being talked about these days have been covered and talked about. What you would recommend for the students as a takeaway from the current meet as the thrust areas that they should focus on?
That's also a good existentialist question. Uh, Now, let me begin by pointing out that the major draw at Kazan summit was not what happened in the conference room, but what happened between India and China, whose heads of government and state met for the first time since the crisis erupted on their border in 2020. Uh, so I think the, the, the BRICS was the only body which has sufficient salience to bring the two heads of government, heads of state, Prime Minister Modi and President Xi together. And in the wake of that summit coming, we had border agreement. Without border agreement, perhaps that summit would not have taken place. But the context of Kazan BRICS summit provided the two sides with the rationale to resolve this festering dispute between the two nuclear powered largest countries in BRICS. So that is where the rationale lies. In today's world, where United Nations is mostly dysfunctional, where bodies of international level uh, have become a bit, uh, how should I put it, disunited and unrealistic. BRICS still has uh, a certain salience to get people together. And so far as BRICS is concerned, it has acted as a glue of sort, a weak but glue nevertheless between the member states to be able to meet, to be able to use it as a platform for resolving their differences, for creating bodies such as New Development Bank, as I mentioned, for discussing at the experts level, at ministers level, and at heads of states level various issues that it, in a way, it provides a very useful platform which which can uh, help lower the tensions and create synergies where uh, it where these are needed. And I think that way it does serve as a point of uh, attraction among various bodies. You would recall that even in Dhoklam crisis, Prime Minister Prime Minister Modi had almost ruled out going to China unless that crisis was resolved. And Chinese did see the point and made sure that while they were hosting a BRICS summit, the the Indian Prime Minister was not held back. Uh, so that is something that uh, attaches prestige to this gathering and allows uh, people, to our leaders, to uh, not stick themselves out of the context. I think that is a good thing and a positive achievement of the BRICS level. Further, I think while the new initiatives such as SWIFT being replaced or dollar being replaced are needed, progress is naturally going to be slow because of this high stakes involved. It would also be worth exploring because it puts pressure on the status quo. If BRICS are able to show some modicum of progress, then uh, the other side, be it expansion of the United Nations Security Council, be it the global financial architecture from Bretton Woods institutions and so on, would become slightly more concerned that that their hold on the respective issues is uh, weakening, and they would have, unless they reform, uh, they the cat may slip out of the bag. So that way too, BRICS is an early warning system uh, to that international ecosystem, and I think it has its utility. Uh, Now we can perhaps discuss
I
India
was
and
I was a little
BRICS.
curious about what India has in store. For India, what is there in store with BRICS? Because I mean, I see BRICS can possibly prove, as you use the word Razadayatre for its own. I don't know how to pronounce this word though. It can, but then for India, what we can look forward to from BRICS.
That's a very good question, and there's no perfect answer. Whether the equation between BRICS and India is harmonious, and is India a uh, fully enthusiastic participants in BRICS, or is being dragged into it by geopolitical considerations or the global order? Now, we are right in the middle of BRICS as uh, two letters before and two letters after. And we are the second largest economy in BRICS, most populous country of BRICS. And as of now, well, we can think of Brazil as another one, but India has uh, maintained its ties with the G20, with the G7, being almost a regular sort of member of invited club. Uh, we have been attending G7 as a matter of course, and we are the fifth largest economy. So G7 without India makes little sense. Uh, at the same time, we do have maintained assiduously our strategic autonomy. And BRICS helps us to maintain this strategic autonomy. We can play both sides. If America and Canada don't play ball with us on our national security issues, we can show it by being slightly more tilted towards BRICS or member states of the BRICS. Uh, and there were observers who thought that Kazan summit between India and China was motivated by resolving need to resolve this dispute, which has been uh, leveraged by the Western countries to create a bloc against China, using India as a pawn. So that in turn shows that India has uh, not fallen into any such alliances. Uh, and to China, it also helps when a crucial and still uh, difficult to predict US election takes place in 10 days' time. Whether uh, they are going to they're going to have an array of countries that have reservations about their rise. If they can sort out their differences with India, with Japan, with Philippines, with others, in time, when a new US president takes over on 20th of January, they would have sort of only one country to focus on and not an alliance of countries uh, pivoted against it. So all that shows, and then on economic frontier, the new bank is an important alternative to World Bank, for example, and it can act as a source for loans, credits, and an alternative form of financing. India does need FDI. India does need technological inputs, and that uh, that is an alternative we need to keep in mind. Some countries which singly may not be willing to work with us under BRICS charter, under BRICS umbrella, might be more than willing to do so. So that is another viewpoint. And I think when India speaks at BRICS, it does carry more weight because we are not a committed member of BRICS either. We are a conscience keeper there. We can talk about this not being an era of war, and it is the time that Ukraine conflict should be over, while other BRICS members may have demurral about being so standoffish from Russia. We have the gravitas, and we are taken seriously as a country that gives diversity to BRICS. Otherwise, BRICS would be a country which is arrayed totally with the country grouping which are arrays against the West and a permanent opposition to the world order. So we do have a role there, and I think that role is appreciated not only by the fellow members of BRICS, but also by major powers like United States and European Union, which regard India as uh, as a country that deserves to follow its own foreign policy based on its own national interest.
Right. Thank you very much. It was really, really very exhaustive discussions that we started from the backdrop under which it came to the challenges it has faced and the kind of achievements it can possibly write as part of its credit. And then ultimately going into the present crisis that we have got, and then where it can possibly seem to be moving towards. I suppose all those dimensions have been very rightly covered by you. Thank you very much. I don't think I can thank you enough ever. But the kind of insights and original points that you have given, I mean, I think people read lots of articles. Of course, your articles are also there, your editorials are there. But the kind of insight that you've been able to give now, they look very fresh perspective. And if students can use this perspective as part of their expression, I suppose they would be I quote unquote, they will be rewarded for originality. I think that's what is very special about the discussion that we have just had. Thank you very much, sir, and it's always a pleasure. And we thank you on my personal behalf and behalf of KSG for taking your time out and discussing with us on this hot topic that is BRICS. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. I enjoyed it. I
Thank you,
hope
sir.
your members found it useful.
Certainly, sir. Thank you, sir.